Many know Daxter as the annoying fuzzball on Jack's shoulder, but in my eyes, Daxter is the friend that stood behind the hero when he was lost in the dark. And this is Daxter's story. So, as said in my Kira video, I believe Daxter isn't originally from the village. I believe that he's from a different island and was teleported to Samos to be taken care of as a kid. In the theory that I made up in the university of my head, I believe Samos came to the island under the disguise that he was a caretaker for orphans. That would work in his favor if he ever needed to explain why Jack isn't his child. This would also be easier for him to adopt Kira after her mother died. So I believe that Daxter had lost his parents, and at some point, someone had asked Samos to raise him. And this is where the dark parts of Samos kind of kicks in for me. See, I believe Samos knew Daxter's fate, turning into an Otso, but he just decided to keep that to himself. And this isn't to say that he's completely evil in this regard. He told those two not to go to the island.
I was...
Don't tell me! Instead of heeding my wisdom, the two of you went mucking around in the only place that I told you not to go! Misty Island!
Hey! Jack, old green stuff told us not to come here.
But I can't help but to sit here and think, did you tell him not to go to the island knowing that they go to the island? Or did you mean sincerely don't go to the island? Because again, Daxter turning into an Otso is the first step to Jack going back into Haven City. These are all things I think about that I will discuss in the Samos' video, because if I talk about this relationship, it's gonna be an hour long and we don't got that time. See, Daxter's the reason for Jack's first steps into manhood. Jack has to fix the grave mistake that his actions had led to, which was turning Daxter into an Otso. But from the viewpoint of Samos, Daxter turning into an Otso means that the journey to Haven City begins. The first game is basically a test to see how well Samos had trained Jack. However, past that, in Samos' eyes, Daxter doesn't really serve any other purpose, and I don't believe Samos knew that Daxter had broken Jack out. So in a weird sort of way, I feel like Samos just really hates the fact that he has to keep Daxter around for this one thing in order to get Jack back to Haven City. And I think that's why he just has like this deep despise and frustration towards Daxter. Like, he just does not want him around.
In my many years as a sage, and trust me, it's a big number, I've learned one very important truth. Behind every great hero, there is always a wisecracking, obnoxious nincompoop. This is his story.
But again, that is for the Samos and Daxter video. But just as I said before, just as Jack's stepping into manhood, so is Daxter. Daxter to me represents that friend who hits puberty during the summer. His body has changed. His mind hasn't caught up to these changes yet though. Something that I find interesting is that Dark Eco plays a huge part in both Jack and Daxter's development from boys to men. How the influence of Dark Eco changes these kids and forces them into the shoes of adults. In Daxter's case, it was just a straight up eviction out of childhood for him. One second he's goofing off with his best friend, the next your body isn't yours anymore, or rather it's unrecognizable. His transformation was the death of his childhood innocence, and you even see it in his mood. At the very beginning, he's loud, he's playful, he's chipper, and while he's shy, he is still cute in a way, like a cute little pretty teenage boy. He's not pretending to be someone else. This is Daxter, because this is what Daxter is familiar with as a person. Before the Eco though, he was just a boy wanting to hang out and play with his best bud, and all of that is taken away from him. When he transforms into an Otso, this causes him to act more aggressive, more tougher, always trying to be the center of attention. And that's not his fault. As I said in my Jack video, I believe that Dark Eco is an allegory for puberty hormones. You could look at the 2 years of Jack being tortured by Praxis as a metaphor for puberty. The Dark Eco to me is an allegory for the changing hormones, making him more aggressive, making him more violent. How his body changes without his consent is how young boys are probably confused on when their body changes. While kids do expect their bodies to change during puberty, they don't consent to all the changes during puberty, like acne, for example. And the same can be said with Daxter in the first game. He's more aggressive. He's always everywhere, bouncing, insulting everybody left to right. That could be because of the dark eco, and it could have taken Daxter some time to get used to this dark eco in order to be more calmer in future games. It could also be a child trying to look tough in front of an adult or his peers now that he has changed. You know how kids are like, oh, I'm 10 times cooler than you because now I dyed my hair blue or something. It feels performative, and it's sad because by the end of the day, Daxter doesn't get his body back.
Must not be allowed to get it! White ego! That could be the stuff to change me back!
Or it might stop that robot. Stay fuzzy, save the world. Choices.
Okay, fine. We'll save the world. But do it quickly before I change my mind!
See, the first game represents Daxter's first steps into manhood, yes, similar to Jak. But compared to Jak, it's very bittersweet. Daxter is giving up a humongous part of him as a human. He's giving up his humanity to save the world. This is a huge deal. This is something he will never get back. Something that he never even agreed to give up to begin with. But Daxter realizes that, okay, I can be human, but the world would be screwed. So let me not do that. And to me, that is the biggest mature decision that he has ever made. Because if I'm gonna be honest with you, I see how this gameplay works. We got multiple white blobs falling to the ground. I would have jumped off of Jak's shoulder and just grabbed a blob. But Daxter doesn't. He lets Jak get all the light eco to destroy Gall and Maul. This is Daxter accepting the fact that he is never going to change. This is Daxter preparing to move forward in his life. And I think that is a huge step, especially when you consider that Daxter is a child. He basically has agreed to the terms that was forced upon him, and now he's going to use those terms to continue on his life and be a better person. And then Samos comes around the corner and ruins everything! So we can't talk about Jak 2 without talking about the Daxter game. Similar to Kira and Jak, Daxter's thrown into a world for which he's unfamiliar with to evolve and survive without the help of an adult. Thanks, Samos. But to add to that, not only does Daxter have to readjust into this world, similar to that of Kira, it's more difficult for him to adjust because he isn't human. This leads to Daxter kind of being stuck in a rut for a while.
Toe to toe with 55 of the nastiest lurkers you ever saw. Suddenly, they came at me from the left, so I moved to the right with a chop and a kick and a...
Working in bars and telling his stories, trying to relive the glory days in his delusion that he has created to help him adjust to Haven City. It's only until somebody asks him to be a hero is when Daxter begins to return to his normal self. At the start of the game, Daxter, in my opinion, is broken. He is lost, he doesn't know what to do, and remember, he is only 17 years old, so he's technically still a child. So in the Daxter game, he is hired by a man named Osmos, who runs a bug extermination company. So he hires Daxter to go around and exterminate metalhead bugs. And to everyone around, the job is just this tiny little thing that doesn't mean anything. But because, you know, it's Daxter, we find out that it's a way bigger thing. Turns out these little infestation bugs were trying to break into the walls to try to create a way for the metalheads to get into the city. Luckily, though, our hero saves the day. Sorry to keep the Daxter part short. I really didn't like the Daxter part, the Daxter game, because there's one little thing that does upset me, and that is the fact that Daxter forgets about Jak.
Unit 1 returning to base ASAP on the QT. By the way, was I supposed to pick you up something at the store? Yak cow milk, maybe? Or some old guy fiber? I keep thinking I've forgotten to do something. You know, something important. I can't help but think... Jak! That's it!
Daxter would never forget about Jak, and this is my issue. If the game maybe perhaps showed us Daxter like trying to get to Jak and just constantly failing and constantly being hit and stuff and putting him in like a depression, I would understand why Daxter would have forgotten about Jak, because Daxter is in a world where he himself is trying to figure out how to survive. But we don't see that, which kind of sucks, because to me that takes away a lot from him, from his character, especially the growth we saw in the first game. But ignore me. Eventually Daxter does find Jak, and that's where the beginning of Jak 2 starts.
Sidekick strats.
I knew that. Now I must be off for my date with destiny. Fare thee well, my fine fan. Parting is such sweet... Ding ding, third floor. Body chains, roach food, torture devices. Hey buddy, you seen any heroes around here?
Jak 2 really puts a spotlight on Daxter, because now, since Jak can talk, I want to say now, I still believe Jak could still talk in the first game, but because Naughty Dog has horrible writing, they didn't really know how to explain that, so they just called him a mute in the second game, which again is stupid, because we do see him clearly about to say stuff before Daxter stops him. I don't get it. I don't understand why they did that. And I don't understand why they couldn't just say like, oh, Jak just didn't talk that much as a kid, now he does or something. No, they just made him a mute. Ignore me. Jak talking is a drastic change for Daxter. It removes Daxter as Jak's mouthpiece and then puts him into the role as partner. Jak no longer needs Daxter to be his voice, to speak on his behalf for him in the world that they're in right now. Jak has his own voice. But with this, the roles begin to reverse. In the first game, Daxter was the wild card, always screaming and yelling, being flamboyant, as if he was about to enter into a fight at any moment. But in the second game, it's Daxter that keeps Jak from basically trying to punch people.
May I help?
You look like a reasonably smart man. I want information. Where the hell am I?
Sorry. He's new to the whole conversation thing.
Are you torn?
Maybe this guy's a mute, like you used to be. Let me handle this, Jak. Watch my finesse and style.
Don't forget to ask.
Everything's cool. Nobody panic. Hey, big guy. Your crew? Well, we shook the heat, and your shipment's in primo condition.
That's good, eh? Because a cargo of rare eco ore is worth more than 10 of your lives. And of course, I'd be forced to collect slowly. This fur would go well with my silk suits, eh?
Listen, tons of fun. Anyone can see that you, and I have the real juice in this bird. We're both players, right? We're both looking for a piece of the action, right? I think we can do business, right?
We did you a favor. Now it's your turn. Why is the Baron giving eco to metalheads?
Questions like that could get a person killed, eh?
Every harsh, tense moment, Daxter is around the corner trying to calm things down. He always acts like a fool, a jester, and this isn't to insult him because, in my opinion, Daxter kind of acts like an emotional support animal to Jak in the second game. Daxter is one of the few things that tethers Jak to his humanity. In the beginning, Daxter literally begs Jak to talk to him. He's on his knees as if he's going to cry. And when you look at Jak, it really does look like Jak was kind of at death's door. He's phasing in and out, he's blinking, he's moaning, he's groaning. He looks like he's in a deep state of pain and that he can go at any moment. But Daxter was the emotional tether that brought Jak back to life.
My tail, literally, to save you. I've been looking for you for 2 years. Say something, just this once.
I'm gonna kill Praxis!
As well as to his humanity, because it is Daxter's voice that reverts him back to his human form after he goes full dark.
You can do it. Jak, easy now. Easy, buddy. It's your old pal Daxter, remember?
Daxter?
What the heck was that?
What kind of shit is that?
It is this bond that they have that keeps Jak grounded in reality, while also helping him through his own struggles into adulthood. One thing I always thought was cute is how they act when they idle. We see Jak always having these small spurts of anger, as if it's like an anxiety attack and he doesn't realize it. And Daxter is kind of used as a comedic relief. He's always pointing, he's playing around, he's in a way tickling Jack and just making fun of him. And I think it's cute that he's able to keep Jack calm in this setting like a true friend. I also want to point out how, if you pay attention, the kid has the dog, kind of similar to how Jack has Daxter. And then you look over at Pecker and Deimos, who are basically the older versions of Daxter and Jack. It's cute. Like, Jack gets this from his dad. I can see it. I never understood why Deimos made Pecker into his, like, second man or something, but I always found it hilarious. Also, I want to make a small little comment about a character that appears in the Daxter series. Her name is, what's her name? Tyron, whatever her name is. Listen, that's a child, because she's 18 in Jak X, meaning that she's the same age as Daxter, so she's either 16 or 17. Listen, why are we getting all these long shots from below, just staring up at her abs and her thong? I don't care what anybody says. That's a child. That's weird. That's nasty. Whatever. On to Jak 3. Similar to Jack, Daxter is reaching the end of his own journey into manhood, but Jak 3 represents more than just a journey of manhood, rather the journey of brotherhood. In Jak 3, Daxter isn't banished to the wasteland, he chooses to stay by Jack's side, basically agreeing to walk with his pal through death's door. In my opinion, this plays a lot of parallels to Jack's journey. It's basically saying that Jack isn't the only hero we need to look at. One of the examples is also learning that Daxter's body, his Otso body, is actually a precursor. When he touched the Dark Eco, he wasn't cursed, he was blessed and became one of the ancient beings. Kind of similar to how Jack is finding his own way at the end, finding out that he is not only the chosen one, but there is so much more to see. Another parallel in this game is Pecker. Pecker plays the same role as Daxter, but for Deimos. He is constantly bragging at him, yelling at him, but in a way it comes off as more like an older brother scolding a younger brother, rather than people who hate each other. In the Jak 3 game, I also noticed that there are parts of levels where you play as Daxter, which I never realized. In the first game, you don't play as Daxter, which is funny because his name is in the first game. But the games that his name isn't part of, he's playable. Because we do play as Daxter in Jak 2, but we really didn't do anything. It felt more like mini games rather than actual full-on levels. But in Jak 3, here in the lava level, it really feels like the game is entrusting Daxter to complete a mission, which I think is cool. I also believe that Daxter just wasn't doing missions in the first game because he may have not been used to his body. And then there's the biggest moment at the end of the game, where the game basically rewards Daxter by giving him pants. I know it's supposed to be played off as a joke, but Daxter's pants are beyond important for many reasons. His pants finally allows him some comfort of familiarity, this small feeling of remembrance. Clothes are a sign of human nature to be covered, but the pants also symbolize to me the final stages of accepting who he is as a person. Daxter, before 3, always complained about his situation, which is fair, but now in Jak 3, he doesn't really complain as much, or rather rarely, as if he's accepted the fact that he's never going to become human again, and he can't do anything about it. He's more confident, he's less braggy in the third game, he's also more caring for Jack.
You have a reputation for being rash. Didn't your father ever tell you to pick your battles wisely?
Being there for him after Deimos dies, encouraging him to stand up and fight.
After him, Jack!
You're willing to go down there? Without a fuss this time.
Yeah, well, don't get used to it. It's just that nobody hurts my best friend and lives to brag about it. Let's get him!
This shows how far Daxter has come as a person, because he's willing to go down the depths of hell to the unknown just to avenge his best friend's father. No, to avenge his brother's father. And that is a true homie. Okay, so for Jak X, if I'm gonna be honest with you, Daxter really doesn't play a big role in Jak X in my opinion. He's there, he plays into the comedy role like he always does, but that's about it. There isn't much to say about Daxter, and that's not a bad thing to say. Like, his jokes still have me giggling sometimes.
Fear this affair will end badly. A wise man once said, be watchful of those in front of you, but beware of those behind.
What wise man said that?
I did.
Never fear! When the going gets tough, Jack will get us out of it. What are the odds?
You don't want to know. No offense, guys, but I'm not going to trust my life to anyone but me. Just stay out of my way. I'll win.
Well, somebody here had better win, or I'm gonna be very pissed and very dead.
GD. And hello to all you peoples out there watching. I'd like to thank the network for choosing me to save this anemic little show.
Yes, well, welcome aboard, Pecker.
That's it! Who's it, eh? Pecker always gets the sweet digs in these adventures.
Something about this whole setup doesn't seem right. We're missing something important.
But at least we're winning races. That's good.
Good? Listen, Rain Baby, we've been chased, attacked, shot at, poisoned, and blown up. How could it get any worse?
Hello, ankle biters.
It's worse.
But I think the reason that he isn't such a big role in this game is now he is a part of the group. Before, it always felt like he was just someone listening in on like the plans and everything. Like he always felt like a fly in the wall because Daxter didn't do anything. But this story, it really does feel like he's part of the group's survival. He is now on equal level of Kira, Jack, Ashlon, and Torn. These are the main protagonists of the Jak X, and also Rain, but I don't like her. But the game is showing us that Daxter is now on an equal playing level with the humans. He is now an equal entity to that of everyone else. So in a way, Daxter isn't being excluded like he normally would be. He's also not being insulted by Torn nor Ashlon either. Because in the first Jak 2 and Jak 3, Torn and Ashlon always had to make comments towards Daxter here and there. Well, when it came to Ashlon, I kind of get her, but Torn was a little too mean.
Hey, tattooed wonder, how come we get all the crappy missions?
Because I don't like you.
Fair enough.
But in Jak X, they're actually a bit more nicer to Daxter, even playing into his comedy.
Action as it happens. Stay tuned.
It's nice to be back in Haven City, hey, sweetheart?
Torn, I'm touched.
I was talking to Ashlyn.
I knew that.
And that is because they see him as an equal, on the same level of respect as Jack. He also got the love of his life in the end, which, side note, I did my research into Daxter. I noticed that his personality is way similar to Kira. Both of them are sassy hotheads that are the only original ancestors from 300 years ago that live in Haven City now. And then you look at Tez and Jack. Not only does Tez look a little bit like Jack, but Tez also has her scary side, which is very similar to Jack's angry side from the second game.
Not bad shooting, Jack, for a guy. Now, I want you to protect my little baby with this, or else I'll hunt you down and hurt you real bad, okay?
Wow, I didn't know you had so much.
And to me, I find that hilarious because basically these two are dating the female versions of their best friends, and that is hilarious. That is funny, and that really does feel like something people would actually do in life. You know, after everything, I have to say, I didn't like Daxter as a kid. I'm gonna be honest. I think I started to like him around Jak 3. But as an adult, I have a deeper appreciation for Daxter. I no longer see him as the annoying sidekick, which yes, I did believe as a child. But now I see him as that friend who stuck by Jack's side through thick and thin, who is able to keep Jack tethered to his humanity while also pushing him to be a hero. And while Daxter is annoying, his comedy was his greatest power. He was able to diffuse problems, calm tense moments, make people laugh. And in the end, it was a great ability because it allowed Jack to go further in his adventures. Without Daxter, there would be no Jack. And that is why Jak and Daxter are not just partners in crime or hero's journey, whatever you say. They're not just friends, they are brothers. And they may not be related by blood, but they are related by adventure and bond. And that, my friends, is the story of Daxter.